solidarity walk. Together for freedom. Stand with Ronnie. You cannot silence a Calypsonian and expect the people to remain silent.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Clarke, not in the chair or on the air, especially over there. But freedom of speech, we need to protect it in Barbados. I stand with you, you stand with me. This Saturday, 10 a.m., Massey Car Park to Independence Square. Be there, because I have a lot to say. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So get ready, because we are marching together for freedom.
Wear white. Show your support for freedom of speech, artistic expression, and justice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, boys and girls. You are watching the Marcia Weekes Show, and we are coming to you live from Barbados. Now, I have in my hand the national flag of Barbados, and you just heard the national anthem of Barbados. It is indeed a privilege to come to you tonight. And tonight, you know what we're talking about tonight? Who muzzled the mic and who will unmute the Barbadian people? That's the big question tonight. Who muzzled the mic and who will unmute the Barbadian people? But just before we go into all of that, let me just take a moment and just greet everybody. And then we have a little song, something that we have to play for you. Just before we get right into it tonight. But let me quickly greet everybody. Now, I want to ask everybody, did you see Awakened? Have you seen the poll? Anybody seen the poll? Teroni Hall, have you seen a poll there? Judy Jilks, Jefferson's Sabers, Jefferson Sobers, sorry. Monica Ince, have you seen the poll? Anybody there? Matthew B, have you seen the poll? Junie Rock, Silver Rock. Good evening, Lori Bob, Angela Burke, Barbara Hunt, Sherry Berry, good evening. I'm a big girl. Yes, good evening. Um, uh, Dalton Spence, good evening. Angela Burke, Bonnie Springer, good evening. Mavis Lashley, good evening. Good evening to everybody, people. Okay, so if it is there, if the poll is there, I'm going to ask everybody tonight. We're asking you to take the poll. It's a live poll, okay? Yes, everybody, please vote. We're taking a poll to see where people are at. All right, so you see the poll. The poll is asking you, do you believe the late Owen Arthur, when he called the prime minister a despot, do you believe that? Yes or no? Do you believe that people in Barbados are afraid of Mia Mottley? That's the poll. So everybody, take a moment, and we're going to keep asking you to take the poll throughout the night. So at the end of it, hopefully we'll be able to say what it's, what is it saying. We'll be able to say what the results are. So we want everybody who comes on. The next thing that we're going to kindly ask you to do, you're very involved with us tonight, folks. We're going to ask you to go ahead and to like, thumbs up button, very important to the algorithm, because you know how they behave, right? So very important, you're going to like and you're going to share. If you haven't subscribed, you hit that bell that's there and you subscribe. All right, so okay, people are telling me that they voted. All right, so guys, we need you to like. Have you liked? And have you shared? Are you subscribed? Yes, thank you, Celia. Good to see you, everybody. Go ahead. That poll is there because we put it there. So there's nothing to be afraid of. We're doing something new, always adding something new. So go ahead. In the evenings, we're going to try to have a live poll. Okay. Now, while you're doing that, Dave, can you play the little jingle for us? Dave.
In the nation, but look how high she flying now. Is she prime minister or a pilot? Axina, Axina. Is she a prime minister or pilot? Every week an next flight in the docket. Hostess or conquer who could tell? Barbados come crew not doing well. Borrow and fly and borrow. Tax the people, cry tomorrow. Plane take off, nothing drop down, not a cent. Touching the ground, fly over government. Hey, fly and gone again. So big body people strain. We catching heat, they catching plane. Fly over government. Hey, no landing in the rain. Fly over government. Them up high we remain. Yeah. Every time we talk, we hush. Next thing plane right, do whoosh. Making airline. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain borrowing again. Fly over government. Fly over government. Nation, but look how high she flying now. Is she a prime minister or a pilot? Axina, Axina. Is she a prime minister or pilot? Every week an next flight in the docket. Hostess or conquer who could tell? Barbados come crew not doing well. Borrow and fly and borrow. Tax the people, cry tomorrow. Plane take off, nothing drop down, not a cent. Touching the ground, fly over government. Hey, fly and gone again. So big body people strain. We catching heat, they catching plane. Fly over government. Hey, no landing in the rain. Fly over government. Them up high we remain. Yeah. Every time we talk, we hush. Next thing plane right, do whoosh. Making airline. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain borrowing again. Fly over government. Fly over government.
This is just so creative. This is so creative. Listen, folks, I laugh out so loudly when I got this. Now, Dave, this is coming hot off the press, Dave. Check your WhatsApp and you're going to see what Captain Barrow has done over the 7 years, okay? Almost $2 billion. Okay, almost $2 billion. Check your WhatsApp, Dave. Now, and we're talking here about foreign debt, right? The World Bank, over 60 million from the World Bank. Or international bonds issue, 100 million. IMF, 116 million. I'm sorry, the bond issue is a billion, basically. The Saudis, 185.4 million. The Chinese, 390 million. Folks, this is what is going on in Barbados. That's the thing. That's the thing. What has happened to all of the money? Right? What has happened to the money? And what you have to look at, and we're going to go back to this again, but as the show goes on, because Ms. McLean is going to come again. But Dave, even if you don't get it up now, let's play this again. I think the people want to hear this again. Okay, you got it up? Okay. Now, we're going to come back to this. Everybody take a screenshot of this. And what this is Barbados Borrowing and Debt Service Overview. And what you're going to notice is what I told you about the public debt. After default, it was 11.7 million. And public debt by March 2025 is 15 million. Okay? Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. Right? The gross borrowing, this is according to Anthony Wood. This is compliments of Anthony Wood, an economist. Okay? The gross borrowing since 2018 is 7.3 million. Okay, so the gross borrowing, the net borrowing is 3.3. That is them paying back and the interest and all of that. The borrowing 2018 to 2019, 428 million. Okay, and the borrowing from 2024 to 2025, 1.64 million. Right? No, did I say that right? 1,000. Is that a dot in there? I don't know. I'm not seeing it well. But the debt service is what I wanted to show you guys. The debt service is 484 million. That was 2018 to 2019. Look at the debt service. Right? Look at the debt service for 2024 to 25. We are paying this per year to service the debt. That's with the interest and paying back the principal. 2.2 million. Right? And the 2025 to 2030, the projected is 1.69. All right, so we're gonna come back to that, folks. No, let me call Miss McLean yet. I don't think I am reading those figures right. That's a billion. Where's Miss McLean? It's 1.69 billion. Right, that right. That's not that's not a point. It's a comma, right, Dave? It's a comma, not a. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Make it. So we are paying. We look carefully, guys. Don't be like me. And I'm seeing the wrong thing there. We're paying 2.2 billion per year, 2024 to 2025. 2.2 billion, and in 2025 to 30, 2030, they're projecting per year it will be 1.69 billion that we're paying. So when we come back and look at this again, we're going to look at what does that mean for the average Barbadian, okay? And Miss McLean is there, and I'm going to take half a minute, Dave, and play that song again, and then turn right over to Miss McLean because I want to see her smile. So go ahead, Dave.
In the nation, but look how high she flying now. Is she a prime minister or a pilot? Axina. Axina. Is she a prime minister or pilot? Every week an next flight in the docket. Hostess or conquer who could tell? Barbados come crew not doing well. Borrow and fly, fly and borrow. Tax the people, cry tomorrow. Plane take off, nothing drop down, not a cent. Touching the ground, fly over governments. Fly and gone again. So big body people strain. We catching heat, they catching plane. Fly over governments. No landing in the rain. Fly over governments. Them up high we remain. Every time we talk, we hush. Next thing plane ride, do whoosh. Making airline. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain borrowing again. Fly over government. Fly over government.
Welcome, Miss Me. Good to have you. Good to have you. This is I'm introducing to you Captain Borrow, which I know you know her already. You're muted. Why is it we're not hearing you? Is it me? Okay, let's see if we can hear. Can you guys hear Miss McLean? It could just be me. Yeah, so we just want to make sure we can hear her clearly. You're not hearing me? Yes, you go and come again, Miss McLean. Okay, they're not hearing you. So she's going to go and try again and come back. All right, folks, if you're just joined us tonight, the topic tonight is who muzzled the mic and who will unmute the Barbadian people. All right, who muzzled the mic and who will unmute the Barbadian people. You have a song there, Dave? All right. Thank you, Victorious. Thank you, Victorious. All right. Now, if you look, Victorious, thank you for your wonderful compliment. If you look on you will see we have a poll. Okay. There's a poll there. So I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead, take a moment and vote in the poll, please. Everybody, you're going to put yes or no. The question is, because we're talking about muzzling tonight, we're going to talk a bit about that. So we want you to vote to say, do you believe the late Owen Arthur that the PM is a despot? Do you believe that? And secondly, do you believe Barbadians are afraid of Mia Mottley? If you have voted already, if you've taken the poll, thumbs up for me if you've taken the poll. Don't be afraid of the poll. We put the poll there because I know sometimes you get nervous about different things, but we are the ones who put the poll there, okay? I'm a big girl, said she passed that spot already. Let me put Miss McLean back in. Good evening, Miss McLean. Wow, we're having some challenges still. Okay, so what I'm going to do while we wait on Miss McLean, I'm just going to go ahead so that I'm just going to go ahead with some announcements for the march. Now, folks, Remember that we have we are supporting supporting Ronnie. We stand with Ronnie. We stand with Ronnie. All right. So we are standing with Ronnie Clarke, or with the announcer, however you put it. And so in standing with Ronnie, one of the things that we're going to do, we're not going to turn up empty-handed. We're going to turn up with some donations, because we don't owe anybody, right? We don't owe anybody. We're not Captain Borrow. All right. So we have already the tent. Remember, I told you that we had the tent. We had to take care of the tent. Somebody took care of the insurance, and we had collected about $500 towards the stage already. Okay, so we basically what we have outstanding is $2,420. $2,420, Taroni, that we have outstanding. This is now we take care of the truck, part of the payment for the stage, and the transportation of the stage pieces to get to Independence Square. All right. So $2,420. $2,420 is what we have outstanding. So we are standing with Ronnie. We are standing with Ronnie. So folks, we're going to ask you to bring something to help with that. Okay, if all of us get together, we're going to be all right. Because we always take care of our bills. Okay, so Miss McLean is back, and we really do hope we can hear her. Good night, Miss McLean. So, okay, so I'm going to ask Dave to give her a call and to see if there's anything we can do to assist her at this time. So, folks, people are going to ask, where are you to come? Remember, it is the Massey Car Park right there right there in front of Kensington. It's now called Kensington Mall. Right? It's now called Kensington Mall. So we're going to ask you to go to that Massey, right there, Kensington Mall. That's where it's going to start. You're coming, bring somebody with you. We are standing with Ronnie. We are standing with Ronnie. So we're going to be there at 10 o'clock. Okay, 10 a.m. is when we're going to be there tomorrow. Yes? How many of you have taken the poll as yet? The poll. Look, you will see a poll there. How many of you have taken the poll? It's just to say yes or no. All right? It's yes or no. Anybody's done the poll? I did. She says, I did. Judith Ann Clark says, I've taken it. It is on Saturday. Saturday. I said tomorrow. Oh, my Lord. Today feels like Friday. Thank you so much. Thank God you're all listening. It is Saturday. Okay, you did. You took the poll. It's our first time doing it, so I'm not sure how it's showing up. It should be the two questions. The two questions are there. Well, we've never had a political rally. I've never staged a political rally, so I don't know what to tell the people. It is a walk. It is a walk, and I have never staged a political rally, and that's what a lot of people, because you're accustomed to, if someone is speaking about what the government is doing, then it is seem that that person, has a political party, which to this day, there are people who still believe that I have a political party because I've defined the government. I know that's a role that political parties normally play. But what has been happening through this show, we are empowering the citizens of Barbados to rise up and to ask the questions. When we went to Washington about the cybercrime bill, we did not go as a political group. We were dealing with something that affected all of us. And I think our understanding about what is politics and what is not politics is really what is causing us to not even get involved. There are people who they don't want to watch the show because they say it's political. The show is political, and when we are talking about the things that matter to you, the policies, the laws, but you see all of that as politics in a negative way. So I'm not making it clear that I'm not doing a political rally. I've never done a political rally, right? And I think and I'm being deliberate about that, because we need to this is part of the education that is necessary. I don't have a political party, so I cannot be part of a political rally. You understand? We over here, what we do, we educate, we motivate, we mobilize, and we agitate. Okay? Yes. Exactly. So we do exactly what Brass Tacks is doing. Okay? It's very, very similar to that. It's a show. You make comment and it's interactive. Is Brass Tacks a political forum? They are complaining about the government, aren't they? Yeah. So if you want, there are lots of different political parties that exist, but we do not have a political party. All right. So that's just I'm using the opportunity of the person making that comment to use it as a teaching moment. But sir, the whole thing says what it is, Mr. Randall. Please, the poster says what it is. I'm not a person who lack integrity. I'm supporting and we're standing with Ronnie. If anybody wants to not come, don't come. That's all I can tell them. That's all I can say to them. We are standing with Ronnie. We are people of integrity. And when we bring up if we bring up an issue at our marches, we talk about the cybercrime bill. We talk about the searching, wiretapping. Sorry, the warrantless wiretapping. All of those are political. All the bills that we walk and we march about, guys, we need to educate ourselves, understand what is politics. What does the word politics mean? Correct. Our very existence is political. And that's why it's so difficult for people to believe that the people who present on this show, that they're not running for anything. You see? Because we think that if you say something that the government is not right, if we say that we are dealing with a particular issue, and we are, people all of a sudden say, oh, even the church people, they say, oh, she's gone political. I've gone political when I'm trying to save you from the cybercrime bill that can get into your church and reach you. We need to educate ourselves, please. When we're talking about when we're speaking about the healthcare, the office, right? When we're speaking about the healthcare, what is that? When we're speaking about healthcare, when we're speaking about what is going on at QEH, is that politics? Very important that we understand. Very important. I hear people with it all the time that it's a political party that we have, because they don't understand we are a pressure group. We are a pressure group. And in applying pressure, we educate first, and then we apply pressure to the government as a whole. So we educate so that when we go out, everybody understands what is happening. Yeah. So I think that is important, because and as I'm waiting for Miss McLean, I've used the time to do some education. Well, Dave, if you could go ahead and put my PowerPoint up, we're going to go straight ahead until Miss McLean can her stuff is worked out. I don't know what's happening there, but Dave, if you could go ahead, it would be that would be wonderful, guys, because tonight what I want to do tonight, folks, and that is the slide it's who muzzled the mic. Who muzzled the mic? That particular slide we want to look at. Who muzzled the mic? While we're setting that up, folks, going to ask you to go ahead and like and share and take the poll. Yeah, go ahead and like and share and take the poll. Now, when art is censored, when workers are silenced, when citizens are afraid, it means that freedom is in crisis, right? And so the big question we're asked is, who is muzzling the mic in Barbados? And I want you to stop and to think about that. Now, the mic figuratively means what? When we say muzzling the mic, what are we talking about? So let's do it together. When we talk about who is muzzling the mic, what are we talking about? The mic. So the mic is going to be any platform, any way that we can speak, right? That we can speak out. Anybody? Give me an example of the mic. What is the mic, really? The mic, yes, the mic is speech. What else is a mic? People's opinions. Yeah. The media. Thank Pedro, come to the front. The media is a form of mic in Barbados, because that is how we, they speak a lot on our behalf and report what is happening. Our voices. Yes. Art is a mic, like song, like, we just played the song. That's a mic. Drawing, even just drawing is a mic. Dance is a mic. Poetry is a mic. Yes? Or any form of expression, that's a mic. That's speaking. Right? Let me see that Miss McLean is ready. Dave, please indicate if Miss McLean is ready. I'll just do a few slides and then turn over to her. Okay, so that I don't confuse the people, I'll just do a couple slides and then go over to Miss McLean. All right, so the question is, preaching is a mic. Thank you. Preaching is a mic. And I tell you something, with all the injustices that's happening in Barbados, when was the last time you heard a pastor use the microphone in their church and talk about the injustices that's happening in Barbados? They might do it at your church. I can't tell the last time I hear anybody doing that. They speak around it. They will speak what's a scripture from the Bible, but what will they relate it to what is happening in the country? Do they preach about the injustices happening at the QEH, where you have people are sleeping on the floor? Did you all know that in the passageway, in the corridor, that people are sleeping on beds thrown down on the ground? Let me tell you something. If Reverend Martin Luther King was around, he would preach about that, though, because that's injustice. The newspapers, Sonia, is a mic. And you must ask yourself, who's muzzling the mic? When you go around Barbados, all through Barbados, what is it that who is it that people are afraid of? Who is it that people are really afraid of? Yeah? When you ask people to say, can you come out to a march? They will say they're afraid. What are they afraid of? They don't want to be seen because somebody might take their job. Who is the somebody? Huh? They are afraid of the government. Let's be real. They are afraid of the government in this country. They're afraid of the government. And so let's check if Miss McLean is ready. If she's not ready, then I'm going to go through the Constitution, and we're going to look at what rights do we really have under the Constitution. All right. So if she's ready, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back to this. I want us to stay with this tonight. Okay. Okay. So let's try Miss McLean again. Hello, Miss McLean. No. I don't know. They're doing her bad tonight. They're doing her bad tonight. Yeah, she's sticking as well. Okay. All right, Dave, go ahead, please, because we have to continue the program. Let's go to the next slide. What are our rights? Anybody out there can tell me what our rights are? Section 20 of the Constitution, which some of you are still insisting we don't have a constitution, which you know you are wrong on that. Okay? We do not have a constitution that governs our republic. That is what's correct in saying, but we have the old constitution that they have amended. So we have an amended constitution, or so we could not be existing without a constitution. Okay? So we're going to continue the presentation. These are the constitutional rights every Barbadian must defend. And I'm taking this very seriously, guys. We're talking about who muzzled the mic and who will unmute the Barbadian people. It is my hope tonight that as we go through this presentation, that just the very knowledge that these are your inalienable rights. Did I say that word right? Rights. These are your rights. They belong to you. The moment you became a Barbadian, these are your rights in Section 20 of the Constitution. Freedom of expression, it is your right. The right to communicate ideas and opinions freely. So why is it that people are whispering. I told you, walking in the development after 5 one morning, saw somebody and they were talking to me about the show and they started to whisper. Absolutely nobody on the road. It's after 5, probably about 5, say probably about 5:40. Nobody's on the road. Yeah? Your right to communicate ideas and opinions freely. Do you understand you have a right to your opinion? So why is it you're so afraid to express your opinion about something? It is your right enshrined in the Constitution. It is my hope and my prayer that this will unmute the Barbadian people to express your opinion. You have ideas, communicate your ideas. Section 20, memorize it. So why is it that people are telling me, you know how many persons will tell me, but Marcia, you have to be careful. You know, yeah, you have to be careful. Mia is going to do this to you. Mia going to do that to you. To express my opinion through the show. Freedom of association. What does that mean? It is the right to join and support organizations freely. This, you see, we are educating here on the Marcia Weekes Show. That's what we do. You are going to write down in your little book, Section 20, freedom of expression. Section 21 of the Constitution, freedom of association. Write it down. Somebody says, only old people like me can express our opinions. Why? Why are you saying that, Yvonne? I want to know why. Let's talk tonight. Let's have family time as we educate each other. Colin says people have Mia Motley as a god. Somebody says, how can one woman muzzle so many people in a country she don't own? Now, this is what I'm going to say. Do you know that one of the reasons you will find political parties in this country, especially at this time, are not able to find candidates is because the prospective candidates, good candidates, will tell you, I don't want to do that because I'm going to be victimized. It is a fact in this Barbados country here that people believe that if they associate with any party other than the BLP party, that they're going to be victimized. Am I telling the truth? So, right? Okay, so Dave, tell me, let Miss McLean know we will have to bring her in later in the show so that I can complete what I'm doing so we don't break it. All right? Right? So, folks, this is a right that you have. You have this right. The right to join and support organizations freely. Did you hear what I just said? That's your freedom of association. If you want to come to the marches, you should be free to come to the march. You want to go to a political meeting? Go to a political meeting. You ever hear a BLP person saying they're afraid to go to a BLP meeting? You will hear somebody from the DL who want to support the DLP afraid to go to the DLP meeting. Why? Because of the experiences that people have had. And I'm not coming on here to pretend with you. The reality is that a lot of Barbadians believe that if they are associated with any other party than the BLP, that they are going to get in trouble some one way or the other. They can't even come over here and comment, because if I comment, I might get into trouble. I don't want to be seen to associate with the Marcia Weekes Show. I can't be seen to associate with the marches. I can't be seen to associate with any other party but the BLP. That is wrong. You must defend your right of freedom of association. Did you know? And I'm hoping that before the night is over, this gentleman would call. And this is one of the reasons I'm doing this tonight. Somebody called me today and said, Miss Weekes, do you know I came to the marches and somebody from my constituency, he lives in an area which is heavily BLP constituency. And he says, you know what they said to me? Listen, don't go back to the march because people will burn down your house, you know. Huh? Don't go to the march because somebody might burn down your house. Stop watching that show. You need to stop watching the show. Where is this man's right to freedom of association? You want to go to any of the marches? Put on your clothes, man. You're Barbadian. Put on your clothes and go to the march. Who will unmute the Barbadian people? Who will unmute the Barbadian people? Why are you afraid to associate with any political party other than the BLP? The only people in here who are proud of their party, it's and walk around with it big and bold, it's the BLP. Listen, thank you, Dave. Except with his own consent. This is section 20, Barbadians. I want to educate you. I want to re-educate you. I want to mobilize you. I want to motivate you. Barbados, I want to agitate you to be yourselves. Love yourself. Defend your rights. It says, this is your constitution. Except with his own consent, no person shall be hindered in the enjoyment of his freedom of expression. And for the purposes of this section, the said freedom includes the freedom to hold opinions without interference, freedom to receive ideas and information without interference, freedom to communicate ideas and information without interference, and freedom from interference with his correspondence or other means of communication. Therefore, it was on this grounds that the Prime Minister, the Motley administration, had to rubbish the Cybercrime Bill. Thank you so much for that, Dave. You must be proud of whatever party you have decided. As a Barbadian, I am this. This is how I'm voting, and you should be able to hold your head up high and not be subject to intimidation tactics. I watched the Marcia Weekes Show, and what you're going to do about it? I go to the marches, and what you're going to do about it? Be proud and strong. Walk with your shoulders up, Barbadians. Unmute yourself. Come on. Unmute yourself. You have the right to join any political party you want and support organizations freely. You want to support the loyal opposition? Support it. Thank you, Dave. Except with his own consent. No person, the only person who can stop you is you. You hear what it said? Look at it. Dave put the thing, the cursor over it. Thank you, Dave. Except with his own consent, no person shall be hindered in the enjoyment of his freedom of assembly and association. Let me leave it there. I want you to read it. Make it big, Dave, so that they read it themselves. I want you all to see it yourself. Right? Let me stop talking. Look, read 21 quietly. And stop letting people bully you on social media. That is wrong. They can't be the only ones to exist in this country. You see what it said? No person shall be hindered in the enjoyment of his freedom of assembly and association, that is to say, his right to assemble freely and associate with other persons, and in a particular to form or belong to political parties, or to form or belong to trade unions or other association for the protection of his interests. You shall no longer be intimidated, Barbadians. Right? As you're just joining, there is a poll, and I'm going to ask you kindly to complete the poll. Do you agree with Owen Arthur that Mayor Motley is a despot? Do you believe him? Are people afraid of Mayor Motley? Those are the two questions that we're asking. Somebody said that the votes are going down in the poll. I want you to take, those of you, take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot. And I know that unless we're talking about gossip, a lot of people not too interested. We're educating tonight. And this educating is important so that those of you who are afraid of coming out on the streets, those who are afraid of seeing me, of associating with me, some of you, I see you, you want to wave at me from afar. You're scared. What are you scared of? What can they really do to you? Huh? Yeah. I'm taking my time with this tonight, folks, because I really want us to free ourselves. There are people who say to me, believe it or not, who say to me, folks, that I want to come to the Ronnie Clarke thing, but I love Ronnie Clarke, but I'm not going to come because I don't want to be seen out there. Do you believe that? People call me and say, I love Ronnie, you know, but you're going to stream it. I love Ronnie, but can you just stream it, because I don't want to come out. I don't want people to see me out there. My question is, why is it that anybody who's BLP is BLP and proud, and any other party you put out there, you put on you go out and say, I am a this, I am a that, anything other than the BLP, and look how people attack you. What I'm doing tonight is hopefully allowing us to see that it is your right and you defend that right. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next one. There's a freedom. So we have freedom of expression. We were going through the Constitution. Right? No, back to the slide before that. Before, yes, thank you. The next one is freedom of conscience. The right to live by personal beliefs without interference. The right to live by your personal beliefs without interference. No religious community shall be prevented from providing religious instruction for persons of that community in the course of any education provided by that community, whether or not the community is in receipt of any government subsidy, grant, or other form of financial assistance designed to meet in whole or in part the cost of such course of education. So Keith Kinch saying that he does not associate with any political party. I vote for decency and integrity. Well, what is important is for Keith and others like Keith to leave people alone that decide to associate with a party. It is their prerogative. And people allow Keith to be. Leave people alone. Back to this religious thing. Now, listen, folks. People we have the right to defend our freedom of conscience. And this is why what was done to Praise Academy was wrong on all fronts. First of all, freedom of expression. Dave could okay, you're showing me this again. Every religious community shall be entitled at its own expense to establish and maintain places of education and to manage any place of education which it wholly maintains. Okay. Now, if you go back to the slide with the that we're looking at, Dave, I want to show the people why it is that Praise Academy rights were infringed on, and that's what we are in court at the moment defending constitutional rights, the right to communicate ideas and opinions freely. Praise Academy went to NCF NIFCA and said what? Praise Academy said of expressing their own ideas and opinions freely based on the Bible that they believe, freedom of conscience. There are only two genders. Nothing to say nobody else must exist. They are expressing their own opinion. And they were removed, disqualified, banned for expressing their own opinion. That's a constitutional issue. Ronnie expressing himself in his opinion in a song and being penalized for it, censored for it, his freedom of expression, Section 20 of the Constitution, is infringed upon. Yeah? So I want us to begin to understand it. And anybody asks you, remember, it's going to be easy to remember. Section 19, 20, 21. Section 19, 20, 21. Section 19, 20, 21. All right? Dave, go to the next one, please. Right? So we're going to, right. When the mic goes silent, why it matters? Why does it matter when the mic goes silent? Folks, share up the live, like up the live. This is not one with gossip, so you don't have this whole lot of people on, you know, that they feel, oh, we're hearing this and we're hearing this for the first time. This is education. Silencing voices weakens democracy. When you silence voices, you weaken democracy. And in a climate where we had one party winning all the seats, it's very important. This is a very delicate issue. And I have a call here of somebody calling in. Let me see if I can. I want this guy to be. Good night, caller. This is a very delicate issue. Okay, caller, can you turn on your device? Yes. Good night, caller. Yes, good night, caller.
Yeah, good night. You know, I was talking to you today about something, right?
Yes.
You know that some person told me, right? You should have used got for the next one. Monday, today. Person to stop listening to that there. Stop going to their marshals. Not one and they come and burn out because these people got everything, right? And they can get together and burn the house and stuff. I ain't friend for anybody. I can go to anyone I want to. I can listen to anything I want to. You know they tell me that Kurt said that he ain't doing my tomorrow. That he done with me.
So,
I don't care about Kurt.
Yeah, so it is being reported because we don't know if he said it that the MP for your area is no longer going to fix your house because they saw you at the march.
Yes, because I was here, I was sitting down here one day, right? And the woman that is working at her office, she came tell me, you're blessed to the BLP. You're blessed the BLP. I said that to see, I keep my mouth shut. You know, I went to walk with you, the last one I walked, right? I was in the van, right? And the boy says, do you know someone take a picture of me? Someone in town that is working town, that is family to one, the people in the office, I call anybody name, they take a picture of me. I went home and showed them family, because their family is working in the care office. They take a picture of me, no?
Well,
they take a picture of me.
because they're trying to intimidate you, but you see, from based on the Constitution, right? You have the right to assemble. You're free. You have the freedom to assemble with whoever you want to. Whoever you want to assemble with, you have the freedom to do that.
Will you say it is true? People do not want to go to war because the afraid of this the people, the prime minister, they're afraid of shit because they don't want anybody to see them walking. They don't want anybody to see them walking. You understand? So that's why they don't want to move to the walk. I would love to go to the walk, but I'm afraid it give me problems.
Mm-hmm.
I can't walk, but I would love to see Ronnie Clarke to talk to him. I tell you already that I would love to see Ronnie Clarke.
Yes.
To talk to him. But I can't come to the walk. After I never got enough bus fare that I can come to that walk because I got bus fare that I could go to the police station and come back home.
Yeah.
I really
Well, don't talk
Mhm.
about all your business. You and I will have a conversation, and you want to come to the walk, we will arrange. Okay. Don't you call me back tomorrow. Not now. We can't. Don't talk about all your business on here. Okay.
Okay, you see, I say something to the phone about my
Yeah. Don't
one.
talk about all your business here. I don't
Okay,
want you
okay,
to
okay.
do that. Okay. Don't do that.
Okay.
All right. So we will talk privately. Okay.
Okay.
Now let us hasten to say that I didn't hear Mr. Kirk. What's his last name? Kirk Humphrey saying he's not
Yeah.
right. It's not gonna do your house anymore. I'm hoping that that's a lie.
Somebody told me, right? I can get my house do no more. So everybody tell me so last Saturday.
Well, it's not. Listen, you don't know if he actually said it. You must go and have a conversation with his office, whoever is in the office, because you can't assume that's what he said.
I don't go to the office no more because when you give secretary message to give Kurt don't get the message no.
Okay.
A lot of people do. Kurt don't get the message. When you sell off the tickets, I just go to the office and tell the secretary I want to see Kurt, and Kurt never get the message. So I will then give a message to give Kurt because Kurt don't get it.
Yeah. Well, back to the march though. See, we're saying here that we have a vehicle to put you in. Right? We have a vehicle to put you in.
Okay.
Okay. So right, so we have a vehicle to put you in, and don't worry, we're gonna have a talk with you, and don't let anybody intimidate you. And one of the reasons I told you to come on here and say it loud that somebody said that people will burn down your house is that you need to. I'm learning to tell the people what's going on, because in case anything happens, there's a man, Mr. David Weekes. He's now in the U.S. decided he's not coming back here because he got into some issues with this government, right? Okay. And he said that he showed me the picture. They threw a firebomb to burn down his house. I know of another person with this same administration. And their car, a firebomb was thrown in their car. Because
now, people tell me that don't mind what people say. They can't do nothing to the house. They can't do the house. Nothing. They can't even put you out.
Yeah, so don't worry about them, okay? And you and I will talk afterwards, and we will sort out stuff for you, okay?
So call you tomorrow, or you call me?
You give me a call tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Good. Now, do you see what I mean? I'm not making these things up, you know. And I tell you, there are people who have said to myself, and I know they told Ronnie too, I love you, Ronnie, but I'm scared to come down there. But you see, censorship breeds fear and self-censorship. When people start to get censored, when they are going to say, we're not going to play Ronnie's song, it breeds fear in the rest of the Calypsonians. And then what people start to do, they start to self-censor. So to self-censor Kim Tay, and others. What that means is that you're not going to write, but you don't want to really say what you really feel because you're worried that you're going to be censored. So that they call that a chill. So a chill comes over people when they believe that, you know what, the fear is there about censorship. That's why I say what has happened to Ronnie, it's like lynching, where, you know what, they did this to him openly so that it will put the fear in people who want to do anything similar. Okay? This means that artists, journalists, and workers become the first targets. The media is not even operating at a quarter of itself. There's no real journalism in Barbados. Zero. Nobody is probing. Nobody is digging. Nobody's diving and coming back up with the stuff. Lazy. Did you see how they ask questions? You know, I've been with some of them at the same press conferences. And once 2 questions are asked, they're ready to go. They're ready to pack up and go. They're not about seeking truth. Even press conferences that I invite them to, they ask you surface questions and then they're gone. And don't you dare try to do your job to ask real questions, you know. They're getting annoyed because I'm keeping the thing going on too long. They want to go about their business. We must understand when freedom of speech falls, every other right begins to crumble. When a freedom of speech falls, every other right begins to crumble. Yeah, I saw something like that. I'm not sure if that's exactly what he was saying. I was trying to read through it to see exactly what is KidSite saying. Because that's one of the things that prompted me to KidSite is a good friend of mine. And it appears that he's afraid to come on the show because of what happened to Ronnie. You would believe that? Listen, this is what someone sent this to me, that it says, and it put at the bottom kid site name. He says, when you all keep saying you're looking forward to crop over 20, why are you all saying you're looking forward to crop over 2026? He says, I was slated to speak on the Marcia Weekes Show the following week and I declined due to the anticipated hostility or hatred from the ruling party or factions in the ruling party. He says, since the last DLP administration, right to this current administration, freedom of speech is being challenged and censored in many ways. And this is why I've always loved KidSite. My husband and I, we support KidSite. Because you know what? It tells the truth. And he's correct. That's why I'm taking the time to do the show, this one tonight. Because he says since the last DLP administration, This current administration, freedom of speech is being challenged and censored in many ways. Next year will be the same, with singers playing it safe as usual. Kids side, come to the front of the class. He says, in this current scenario, the hatred or hostility towards the Marcia Weekes Show has resulted somehow in Ronnie's dismissal from his workplace. This is Kid Sides as he's a seasoned Calypsonian, and he understands the climate in which we live. That's why we have the poll. The poll is there. Do you believe? Its poll is coming up. Go ahead and answer. Do you believe Owen Arthur, the late Owen Arthur, when he says Mia Mottley is a despot? Do you believe that? Do you believe that people in this country are really afraid of Mia Mottley?
You know, in the name of my children and my grandchild, that I want to live in a country where there's freedom of expression. I want to live in a country where no despot can feel that they should hold the destiny of my children and my grandchild in their hands. And that Mia Mottley is a menace. She's a menace because she's a despot. She's a menace because she's a despot, believes that she has a right to be a despot. She would try to be a despot with me. And I want to end by saying this. My parents sent me to school so that I should not be a boy in the yard for any despot in this country. And I will be true to them and true to my children by fighting this despotism that is taking.
Thank you, Dave. Very apt. And you heard what he said, freedom of expression. Did you hear the late Prime Minister Owen Arthur, former Prime Minister Owen Arthur? Did you hear what he said? And he was warning us of this environment. We are living in an environment, and that's the reason that they have a problem with me, is that, listen, I am not going to come on here and pretend. I'm not pretending. If this was a place where people are free to express their opinions, that senator would not have been fired. That senator would still be there. And she wasn't even rude in the way she was presenting her opinion. Owen Arthur has just outlined to us what is going on in Barbados. That's what Kid Sight is speaking about. That's what Owen Arthur is speaking about. That's what I'm speaking about tonight. Senator Crystal Haynes, former Senator Dr. Crystal Haynes. So take the poll from me, folks. Take the poll. You're going to see it comes up right there in the comment section. And it will be on YouTube. For those of you who are looking, you're not going to see it. If you're on Facebook, you're not going to see it on Facebook. Okay? You have to come over to YouTube in order to take the poll. When freedom of speech falls, every other right begins to crumble. This is why coming out on Saturday to support, to say we stand with Ronnie is so important. Everybody knows that the media in this country is being pulled left and right and all over by this government. The media in this country is a puppet to the government. It's being used as a puppet. And why they hate this show so much, nobody is paying us. Nobody sets the agenda for this but the people of Barbados. Nobody. Don't be afraid to take the poll. Nobody's going to know it's you. And what if they know? What if they know it is you? Who will unmute the Barbadian people? I see Mr. Bob is going to tell me when he's ready. There are people who, it's not that they are afraid at this stage that they're going to get killed, as happened in other countries, under other dictatorship. What happens now is they're victimized. Dwayne Grozet's perfect example. He came on the show and he told you, because he came on the show, you got to listen to people and stop saying, oh, it's not really. So listen. He said he was told by the PM he can't get back in the fold until he apologizes for coming on the show. Not even for what he said, but apologize for coming on the Marcia Weekes Show. Doesn't Dwayne Grozet needed to ask the Prime Minister if that's what the Prime Minister said to him? It's what he's reporting to us. If that's what she said to him, he needed to remind her that he has, under the Constitution, the freedom of association. Look at Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob, are you ready? I'm not seeing you ready. Okay. Look at Mr. Bob. Good night.
Good night, Marcia. Good night, and good night to the loyal opposition. Good night. I was listening as I was on the way home, and it is my type of show. Calling on Barbadians to unmute and to speak up and not be afraid. I'm one of those Barbadians that I am not afraid of any of them. They have no reason to be either. What are they going to do? If you travel outside of Barbados and you come back to your homeland, refuse the entry? What are they going to do? We have to say to these people that you are who you are because of us. It's not the other way around, you know. So when I hear these things about people being afraid of me and afraid to associate with other people, I wonder, these are Barbadians. Why are we after 2018 afraid so much for a government that we elected? Why? And if that is the case, what are we to do? We are to come out. We are to stand up to them. And when the opportunity arises, we are to get rid of them. So I am trying to understand and trying to wrap it around my head. Why are Barbadians behaving as if the Barbados Labour Party and Mia Motley made us? They are in government because of us. They are afraid of the power that we have. That is why they behave like this. So I'm still trying to understand it. I'm trying to because I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm really. So I'm trying to see why our people are behaving like this when they have the power or they do not recognize the power that they have. So I'll continue to follow, or I will chip in as we go.
Of course, you know, we tag team, and I thank you so much for joining. And you know, everybody knows that you are, you know, you have chosen the DLP party as your party,
and that is my choice. That is my right, Marcia.
Exactly.
I was tempted tonight to take up the shirt which says Alvin Bob DLP and put it on. But I chose a blue shirt. You understand? Because if I choose to wear the colors of another party, that is my right.
That's your right.
And the color that I wear or the party I support does not change the type of Barbadian I am.
And if I choose to say this Marcia Weekes Show, what I'm going to do with this is to be a voice of the opposition. Why are you thinking you're going to force me to come over here and to praise the government? I said the show is a voice of the opposition, so you can't come and tell me what to do. Just don't watch it. It is simple. And that's the thing with these people. They want to bully, but they're bullying the wrong. Look at you. You chose to associate with as a teacher, right? And you're a teacher.
Yes.
And you chose the DLP party, right?
Yes.
And
I have my reasons. And
you have your reasons. But the point though the point I'm making is that you decided you wanted to move it a bit further and to run as a candidate. And they decided they were going to punish you by taking your job away from you. While at the same time, they had people in the BLP who had done the same thing.
And people who are speaking on the platform nightly. And people who are walking up and down showing their faces in red shirts, canvassing. And we have in this country, even in 2022, persons afraid to walk next to candidates because of the type of climate that they have created. But they can have hundreds of people walking behind them, people who work in the same government. And we have government workers in Barbados today who supports the Democratic Labour Party, but are afraid because of the type of people that we have in government. And that cannot continue.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to them, they came after. I believe they want to make an example of me that they, but they don't know all in Bob.
You know, Mr. Bob, I think of what happened to you and Pedro Shepherd. And when I looked into that case, and Caswell Franklin, God bless him, he was educating us about the case on this show, etc. And he said, you know, Marcia, the funny thing is that there were BLP persons who were part of the party involved, speaking on platforms, everything that Mr. Bob and Gemma and Shepherd were doing. But the BLP government decided they wanted to take your jobs from you. And this is what I'm talking about. And as long as they are doing that in Barbados, I will fight them. Go back and tell them that. You are unfair. And you want to take the constitutional rights of people who do not support the BLP. Well, I do not support the BLP party. I do not. Not with that kind of behavior. Go back and tell them. We have the song that says, we're going to fight the BLP. Lots of people, we're not coming back to the march. Well, don't come back. Don't come back. Because any other party other than the one that is in government is what I said. And I say it and I mean it.
Yes.
Any other. As far as I know, there are about 3 or 4 of them. Why would I go and support? I'm going to sit down here now. You understand? Bathe myself, dress up, put on my makeup, open up my thing, do my study, and come on here to support a government that is doing what? Look at what they're doing to the people and have a ton of money, can create their ads, give people new cars, do this, do that, buy votes. Why would I do that?
Yes. And they have teachers have issues but are afraid to be open to support their union because of the fear of being victimized. We have ancillary workers who are under the DLP getting 1-year contracts, now getting 4-year contracts, 4-month contracts. They're creating a situation where the people have to depend on them for survival. They are an evil bunch. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm going to stand up to it everywhere. I'm going to stand up to them. They must be seen to say to the Ministry of Education, do something where he for coming on Marcia Weekes Show. I said, do something because you do it already. Can't do anything. What more can you do? What more can they do?
What more can they do? You have to reach a point that you defy them. When you are dealing with a bully, and what has happened is that the bully, Mia Motley, has reproduced herself. The former Prime Minister, late Owen Arthur, told us, right, who she is. I'm reporting what he said. He said the woman is a despot and a menace, right?
And he worked closely with her.
And the thing, right, he worked closely with her. And what I'm saying is that she's trying to reproduce herself in these people that wear the red shirts. You all need to stop it. We're all Barbadians. And you will not shout me out of my constitutional right. It's not about how loud you can shout. I say to everybody, whatever party you are choosing, be proud of that party and do not let anybody shout you out of it. When the citizens are divided, okay, so we're talking about public reaction and silence.
Right.
Citizens divided, some outraged, others are cautious. Isn't that what is happening?
Yes.
No. Fear of job loss or public backlash keeps many quiet. Isn't this the truth? But the silence, Mr. Bob, enables those who benefit from control. The silence enables those who benefit.
Yes.
You have anything to say on that?
I just want to say to the people as well, in terms of citizens being divided, we have a group called influencers and bloggers. And they are on social media selling the party. What I recognize today that one of them not holding down one consultancy job, but two consultancy jobs. And they are every day on social media telling the people of Barbados that what we are experiencing is not real. And we must support this country, support this government. While they get only for the mere fact that they want to continue to get their couple of dollars when the month comes. Why we have struggled to buy food, proper food as well. I saw the other day the medical fraternity expressing concern about obesity among children in schools. And we can't buy healthy food. But they're holding down two consultancy jobs and getting two on top of a pension. But you're coming to tell us who are suffering that what we are experiencing is not real, just to keep money in your pocket. Do not listen to them. You know who they are because you see them on social media. And that is what they're using to divide us. And to keep us and try to keep us ignorant that some of we wake up, we are experiencing these things, but they're saying, no, that is not true.
Yes. You know, and as Dave, thank you for that, Mr. Bob, because as you know, someone said to me today that they are family to one of the influencers, okay? And that person is being paid between $8,000 to $10,000 a month.
And you got one person holding down two consultancies, two
consultancies, and then going to look at us to tell you, no, what's happening is not really real. No, it's not really real because of the amount of money you're getting. And
yes.
That is the selfishness of these people. But Dave says here, he found AI says that silence in the face of injustice is considered complicity.
Yes.
Meaning it is a form of passive support for the oppressor and a failure to challenge wrongdoing. Mr. Bobby, you want to read that again? Thanks.
Yes. Silence in the face of injustice is considered complicity, meaning it is a form of passive support for the oppressor and a failure to challenge wrongdoing.
Yeah. It is not a neutral position. Your silence is not a neutral position. So there are people who come on here and they said, oh, Marcia, just pray and leave it. I've seen that comment since what happened with Ronnie, telling Ronnie, oh, just pray. We just need to pray and leave it. Leave it to the lawyers. Be silent. Basically, they're telling us to be silent. What if they were silent in 1937? All of those labor laws that they're all breaking now anyway, would we have those labor laws? Silence, your silence to what is happening to Ronnie is not a neutral position. It allows injustice to continue and empowers those who are causing harm, while contradicting one's own values of fairness and equality. Silence is not a neutral position. So you staying home and saying, I'm not coming out on Saturday at 10 o'clock, when you are able to come out at 10 o'clock because you don't have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
It's not a neutral position. It is actually empowering the oppressor. So every time that you're asked to come out and help somebody that is oppressed and to speak out, you don't do it. You are enabling the oppressor.
Yes.
Mr. Bob.
Yes, they're giving the oppressor strength because they're going to take confidence that what they want to achieve is to keep the people silent. And as many people as silent as possible. And the same, as I saw comment here, the same applies to voting. So they frustrate you to keep you away from the polls because they know that who supports them will, and these people who are influencers and consultants, they will not stay home because they have a vested interest in the government. It is extra money for them and their families. But we who are receiving the worst end of governance in Barbados, we decide that we are not speaking up, we are not supporting, and then we take it a little for them, we're not voting. And that is, and we're giving power to them because we're doing that. I'm saying that at this point in time, if we are frustrated enough with this government, it should drive us out of our homes, off of our backsides, get on our feet, get on the road, and get in the polls when that time comes. If you feel that what is happening in Barbados is not what you voted for in 2 elections, it should drive you out of your house. If you support Ronnie at this point in and what is happening to him, and as the typical Barbadian said, that's unfair. If you feel that is unfair, it should drive you out of your house. It should get you on the road. Because only a matter of time before they come for the rest of us. Because our silence gives them power, fuels their. So I'm going to see what is going to happen over the weekend and in the next few days. Because it is time that our people get up.
Yeah.
And stand up for themselves.
Yes.
Stand up and fight back. There's a line in the song, stand up and fight back. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah. If Dave could go to the next slide, guys, please like and share. Please like and share. We're going to discuss. There's a post by Eric Lewis, and we want to discuss that a little later in the program and have you call in, right? Which is going to be soon. Global context, freedom under pressure. Worldwide, journalists and creators face intimidation. That's what's happening worldwide. We're seeing, especially coming out of the UK. That is a trend right now for a lot of governments. They don't want you to express your opinion. But democracies, Mr. Bob, only survive when citizens defend open speech. So if we're going to say we are a democracy, we must come out on Saturday and defend free speech.
Yes.
And as it says, Barbados is at a crossroads at the moment. Will it protect or punish dissent? Will we agree? Because when we stay home, when we don't come out and stand up beside Ronnie Clarke, what we are saying is that it's okay. This is a crossroads thing, Mr. Bob, with Ronnie Clarke,
Of course. Like I said the other night, is more than this. This is more than Ronnie's position.
See? And that's why we're asking who muzzled the mic. There is a poll that comes up on YouTube. The poll is on YouTube, and it's asking, do you believe the late Owen Arthur when he said that the prime minister is a despot? And the second question is, do you believe people are afraid of Mia Mottley? I didn't ask you if you're afraid. I'm asking if people are afraid. Yeah? The next one, please. Folks, like up the live, the call to action. The call to action is support those who dare to speak out. Defend constitutional freedoms for everyone. For everyone. Mr. Bob, I was saying to you that I think, I'm not sure if I said this to you off air, but I wrote the piece in for NIFCA saying that there are two genders, because it's it's my opinion coming from my freedom of conscience, my belief system, okay, and my right to express my opinion. Now, a group of people in Barbados had a problem with it. All right. Now, the same organization, the NCF, NIFCA, I wrote a film, Mr. Bob, against discrimination towards people who are gay. I wrote a film about that. You know what? I was awarded. I was given a special award. Yes. I got a special award from the NCF for it. I expressed a view now that is different from what that community holds. And I am disqualified. A view that does not stop, is not saying, oh, I hate gays and gays should not be able to express themselves. Nothing of the sort. Just stating my beliefs. And that when you start to do that, what you're trying to do is to hold me up as an example so nobody else express their opinion on that.
Yes.
Now, if it is that I am saying that the people who are gay should not be able to speak and be themselves and express themselves, no, that is wrong. That's a wrong view. And I know that there's some church people that do that, and I don't like it. And I always talk to church people about that. People must be allow them. It's not even to allow. You just leave people alone.
That's it.
Yes, awaken. Respect all. Let all views contend. Yeah.
But that is what the world is about.
Right? So I'm trying to read some of the comments here. Somebody says, I march. I don't care about the red shirts heckling on the side nor the drone above. Neither the media taking pictures.
I don't bother. Those things don't bother me, I can turn up and that is my right. We come to march, they come to march. Huh?
Yeah. This fear is so real, Mr. Bob, that I find I have to laugh sometimes. There are people in my WhatsApp, right? Mr. Bob, they will never send me one thing about this government. But they fill up my WhatsApp with Trump. They fill up my WhatsApp with what is happening in the UK. What happening in Trinidad? What happening in Venezuela? What happening in Guyana, but not Barbados? Isn't that something?
It's too close to them. And I try to ignore it. And I think if they ignore what is happening here, that it will go away. It's not going away. It's getting worse. It's festering now. And we have to fix our home. This is where we live and this is where we're going to exist.
Yeah. This person said here, Barbadians are not afraid of man. I don't agree with that. From what I see and what they tell me, they annoy me the daylights out of me, my lovely Bajan people, to tell me all the reasons I should be afraid. Barbadians. So I don't know if this person is in Barbados. The Barbadians tell me all the different reasons, Mr. Bob, that I should be afraid of Mayor Motley and why I must be careful doing this show. So I don't know. My impression, based on what I think, yeah, go ahead.
Unless they're spreading rumors about her, they tell you bet. Don't say so. Yeah, you meet people on the street and say, I see her on that show, and they look at them and they come and whisper in your ears as if they want anybody to hear. But if you see, look, and there are people who would tell people, you better be careful how you operate. You gotta be crazy. At 50 something years, 60 years old, telling me I have to be careful what I say about the Prime Minister and labeling you. I have to be careful how I do this or say this and what I say. Who comes to tell me that there? It almost bring it to the point where you swear at them. Because you can't be so foolish and ignorant to come and tell me so. What are they gonna do? Huh? Tell me. When you tell me so, tell me what they're gonna do. Stop me from working? Suspend me? Call me for disciplinary action? On what grounds? My opinion? My right to associate? My constitutional right to freedom of association or to speak? They can't do it with my job. They can't say that I'm incompetent at my job.
As they're trying to say with Ronnie, they're trying to use that as a thing with Ronnie, which I'm gonna show that. I'm gonna show Eric Lewis's post.
And there's a comment on the screen which says, Marcia, if you didn't go to Washington D.C. to fight the Cybercrime bill, Ronnie would be locked up today. Faith without work is dead. This is a call to action for everybody in Barbados at this point in time. What are we waiting for? For more Ronnies? What are we waiting for? So I'm looking forward to even some of the artists.
You could look hard. I don't know if those artists are going to show up
because a lot of them are being I think some of them may be retained or part of some organization, so they're not going to give away or appear to be biting the hand that feeds them, And that was purposely done. And that has been happening in Barbados. And we see it on a number of occasions where you will see a person start to bring attention to some of the issues that are affecting Barbadians, and then they disappear. And you wonder what was the problem. And then you get to hear about it. They are scared into silence, or they find out what they need or what are their wants.
Yes.
I heard a politician said years ago that every man has a price. You just don't know what it is. And that will keep them silent. And we can't appear to be a people that are hand to mouth. And we have, and the offer of a few dollars can somehow buy in our integrity or our principles or our beliefs in fairness changes. We can't, that is not the Barbadian way.
Yes. You know, Mr. Bob, we have a caller. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to hear the caller. I noticed there's, can you hear me, Mr. Bob?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, right. There's a
Echo.
There. Go right ahead, caller. I can't hear Mr. Bob now, but go ahead, caller.
Yes, good night, Marcia.
Yes, welcome.
Mr. Bob as well.
Welcome.
Yes.
Good night.
At the appointed time, I will be guided by you to set the record straight as it relates to things in Barbados, and it will be a no holding back as it relates to information. But until that time, I will deal with this one first, as it relates to what I believe is an opportunity missed. And I can't call out the LP alone, but opposition voices, period, to have examined this whole situation where it seems like there was it seems to be wanting to be a precedent of I call it Willy Lynchism, the new era of Willy Lynchism, where you make an example, the old Bajan talk, they would say, I'm gonna make an example every man, that kind of thing, and everybody scatter. Well, I strongly believe that Serenada can't be a hero, or Ronnie a demon, right? So but besides that, what has to be known to the public is what is the offense? What is the legal offense, be it in the workplace, be it period? Because you cannot come to a summary, and anybody, but you don't need to be a lawyer or a legal luminary to know this. You cannot come to a summary without having find out or having a cause for an offense. And the offense or offenses must be clearly stated, and they must be compared to what is how should I say that, as you are talking to about constitutional rights and stuff like that. But I think if this situation is allowed to sit in the, I call it the atmospheric and stratospheric realms of Barbados, then it will be a norm for public and private sector people to just be willy-nilly. Man, don't come into Marco. I don't want to see you anymore. So go along with your business and don't worry to say nothing tonight because we can deal with you. Political gangsterism. I call it political, and you have to call it by what it really is. And for some reason, I think the verbiage of opposition persons or opposition voices has to change. We really listen to how Elbar used to speak. Elbar wasn't one that would cuss nasty words and stuff like that, but his verbiage was one that was able to arrest I call it political gangsterism of that day. So essentially what the opposition voices of this day have to do is to be commensurate with the verbiage that is on the ground. And no offense to any person's religious, how should I say, a constraint or whatever, but know that this kind of constipation cannot be. You have to, the young people to say it got to be either out to all or none at all. Are you there, Marcia?
Yeah, I'm listening to you, sir. Go ahead, continue. I'm listening to you.
Right, because you see, I am afraid. I'm not saying that it is so, but I am afraid that there might be some measure of I won't call it constipation, but or restraint, but a kind of a like holding back where verbiage is concerned. When you're in a battle is not only physical, it is verbal, it is social media presence, it is all these things, it is constituency by constituency presence. It is the timely exposition of matters and the knowing when to labor on X and when to labor on Y. Who to speak to Y, who to speak to X, or what, or how. So these things, I mean, you are doing a magnificent job, but I think that there needs to be more constituency by constituency. And I'm not talking about DLP alone, because as you were saying earlier, I think you said that there are 3 or 4 parties up there, right?
Yeah, there are.
Right. So where are the other parties? Where are the other parties? It is almost as if they're looking back and they're looking. Imagine that, like, picture at school where you have probably four houses: red, blue, green, and yellow. And they are in one party. Sorry, they're looking at the vertical was red house, jumping and pomposetting. They're in greenhouse, but still looking on and telling greenhouse, that for let here the red X and Y and K. As if that they are not in the same competitive board too. Well, anyway, where I'm going with this is that my ending note is that the verbiage and whatever strategies that are being on the ground, think of what the Prime Minister uses. She represents to me, I'm going to leave this as a last comment. She personifies what I say is an octopus. The people of Barbados and diaspora and around the world, they see the octopus's head, but they pretend that they don't understand that the octopus has all these tentacles and is moving at what Bajans would call it 90 knot. 90 knot. One tentacle in Africa flings Africa, the other tentacle in Asia, interacting, the other tentacle in the Hispanic nations, like Mexico, all the other places, and then bringing up the rear is Panama and the other places. The other tentacle is in the Caribbean, trying to dictate who is zone of peace from who is not zone of peace. Well, guns are ricocheting in Barbados. So you must understand that when you are looking at the chaos on the ground, you are dealing with a different kind of politics that I don't think that Barbados has ever seen before. I have not, in my little history of Barbados, I have not seen a prime minister who can be personifying what I deem to be an octopus, where the prime minister, yes, is managing things home properly, but the tentacles can be seen in 99 areas sitting on in conjunction with a multiplicity of power breaking institutions, and at home chaos is raging. Have you in your lifetime, can you rate another prime minister that was like that in Barbados? And this has nothing to do with gender, male, female, or alien. Can you rate any other prime minister that was like that in Barbados?
Well, I don't know that many, but based on just what my history was reading, this seems to be the first time. I've checked with others. Mr. Bob, can you answer that for the caller? And caller, we just have about another minute. We have to move on. But
I will end this. I will end on this.
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot answer that question, or if Socratically the answer to that question is no, then you cannot deal with a situation that is unconventional conventionally. That is my last point.
Yes.
You cannot deal with an unconventional situation conventionally. Good night to the panel. All the best.
Yes, thank you
Yeah.
so very much. Thank you so much, caller.
All the best.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Bob, any thoughts on what I said there? Thank you so much.
I think that the major point for me there is that We have a PM who seems to have her hand, her foot, her mouth, and everything else international, and our home is in chaos. That is the point that he made at the end.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And you know, we as somebody is asking, you know, and you know what, the other parties, what they do, and I'm gonna just speak. Yeah, they come and they blame this show and they blame me. They are not active and they blame other people for not being active. They have not reached out to me and said, Marcia, I would like to come on your show every Wednesday. Let me say I don't want you on every Wednesday. Every turn I turn, the DLP people are asking me to come on. I have to be keeping the DLP people away. But the others who have a party, they don't ask. I have to ask them. They're not ready. They don't comment about anything. And you want to blame me? It's something else, you know. But as we wait on some more callers, the slide here says it might belongs to the people. Freedom of speech is not, it's gone. It's gone. Freedom of speech is not a privilege, it's a right. It belongs to every Barbadian. No government, no corporation, no individual should take it away. The mic is the people's power. Don't let it be muzzled. Yeah. And as you know, Mr. Bob, as I'm gonna wait for some people to call, but let me say that I got a message today, and I thought I'm not sure why it's not on this particular slide, but as I segue back into the Ronnie situation, I want to mention, just touch on it really briefly tonight. Excuse me, really briefly tonight, and this is about the fire department, where fire officers are facing supersession at unbelievable level. It's been alleged the chief fire officer is not accountable to anyone, they're saying, and is allowed to do as he pleases. This is what some of the fire officers I got calls about 2 weeks ago, and now this week again. They said that a few months ago, there were interviews for posts of sub-officer and persons who were acting in the post for over 7 years. They attended interviews and were unsuccessful in being appointed to the post, but were then returned to act in the post again after being unsuccessful. They're saying that the Home Affairs Minister, Wilfred Abrams, is, in their opinion, that he's incompetent and he's lazy. And we've heard that quite often about him. Whatever ministry that he goes in, you hear that about him, that he's lazy. Castle Franklin always would say that he doesn't do a good job. And that he's a source of the problems the fire officers are facing. Wilfred Abrams, is that true? Are you the source of the problem? Is it that you're incompetent and you're lazy, Wilfred Abrams? They said about 2 weeks ago, there were interviews for leading fire officer, which is equivalent to a police sergeant. And again, persons were acting in excess of 5 years. They were not even allowed to go to the interviews, Mr. Barr, after receiving a letter that makes no sense from the ministry, which basically said you're qualified for the post, but you do not qualify to go to the interview for the post. This is what the fire officers are saying. They're saying that the chief fire officer, they're alleging that he's the one who's conducting the interview for the promotion by himself, they're saying. They said that a fire station has just been opened in the Pine, and they're talking all over their faces and fooling the public that all is well at the fire service. And a number of defective things already showing up. That the central air AC having problems already. They said poles have been installed in the station, but they're just aesthetics and will not be used. In their minds, it's a waste of the taxpayers' money. The fire officers are patiently waiting for these last set of promotions to come out within the next week because more supersession will take place once again. They said the same thing, Mr. Bob, is happening at the Barbados Prison Service. And I remember Mr. Caswell Franklin would always speak about the Barbados Prison Service.
Yeah.
And the incompetence of Mr. Wilfred Abrams. They said that prison officers have an ongoing injunction in the court. Wilfred Abrams should resign and let someone who is competent do the job. I'm reading directly from what the fire officers are saying. One fire officer was even promoted from private fire officer to the gazetted rank of station officer. That would be a triple promotion. 2 other fire officers who are not in active firefighting were gifted double promotions from fire officer to sub officer. They said that the new station in the Pine is super hot because the central air conditioning unit is not working. They sent me a letter here. They said that they informed Caswell Franklin about the situation. Dave, if you take a look there and you can put this up on the screen, there's a letter there that we are going to look at, which you see, I'm reading this information because that they've sent me because, Mr. Bob, when one hurt, all of us hurt.
All hurts. And I'm sure, I'm sure that what they are mentioning may be across other ministries. I'm hearing a lot of that happening in the Ministry of Agriculture as well. But are those persons brave enough to do what this person wrote to you and said? They wrote to the Marcia Weekes Show knowing that their problems will be brought to the public. So I'm encouraging any person for any ministry, you're afraid to stand up, send the information. We will let the Barbadian public know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm very happy that they can send the information to us, knowing that we're going to let the public know. And believe it or not, I'm going to continue to speak on this. I'm just mentioning it tonight, and I want to thank those who from the fire service who reached out. We are aware that they can't join a union. I'm being told, Mr. Bob. So, they basically they're at the mercy of these people acting in post. They're saying 5 to 7+ years were denied interviews or promotion, while junior officers who never led were allowed to interview and be promoted. Right? After the failing interviews, some returned to acting post again. So what they're saying, a lot of the senior officers there, they somehow, because they speak out, right, Mr. Bob, because they speak out, they are the fire officers are saying the ones that speak out, they're passed over for promotion.
That has been happening regularly all across the sectors in Barbados. This situation is not an isolated case. But I'm reading this, I'm quite surprised. I really got some of these letters from MPS, and some of the things that were written were mind-boggling. But to see this, you satisfy the qualification requirements as set out in the Public Service Qualification Order 2016, and was deemed eligible to participate in the selection process. All right. Number 3, in accordance with the aforementioned circular, the Protective Services Commission approved an assessment of all qualified applicants as the first stage of the selection process. I'm directed to inform you that the first stage is now complete and you are not selected to advance to the interview stage. But in 2, you say you qualify.
Well, I see a call here that is calling. We're probably going to help. Wait, can you call back, Mr. Strickland? I answered it wrongly. Mr. Strickland, if you're watching, please call us back. Let me see if I can do it on here. Because what is that? What struck you there, Mr. Bob, from this letter? Mr. Bob, Mr. Bob is sticking.
Mute. Okay. You have satisfied the qualification requirements as set out in the Public Service Qualifications Order 2016 and was deemed eligible to participate in the selection process. In accordance with the aforementioned, the Protective Services Commission approved an assessment of the qualification applicants as the first stage of selection process. So you didn't get past the selection, but your qualifications are there.
Yeah. Yeah. We have Mr. Strickland on. Let's see. Can you hear him?
Yes, please.
No, he's
good night, sir. Good night. Yes, good night, sir.
Good night.
Opposition. I'm overseas right now, but as I'm sitting and listening to the program tonight, and I'm really hurt, and I'm afraid, as it were, that Barbadians are so fearful. I mean, I am really puzzled at what really is. Why Barbadians are so afraid. I mean, yes, there's victimization, and there will always be victimization, but are we concerned about our children and the future of Barbados? In that, I mean, Ronnie expresses himself in a song. I come on the program and I'm viewed as being partisan. I mean, I have no interest in partisan politics. And I'm saying that, we as especially as Christians, we are supposed to be salt and light. And this is the part that really hurt. We are supposed to be salt and light. And we flock to our churches on Saturdays, we flock to our churches on Sundays, and we speak about truth. The question is, why are we reluctant to share the truth? I mean, when you look into the Bible, you see that Jeremiah saw the wickedness that was happening.
Yes.
And he chose to speak against it. For those of us who know what the Bible says, Jeremiah was thrown into prison. Okay? Now, when Jeremiah wrote what he wrote and the king saw it, the Bible says that the king took a penknife and he cut it up and he burned it in the fire, expecting that truth would disappear. But, Baruch turned around and rewrote what Jeremiah dictated. Jeremiah was put into prison and remained there until the king was removed. And Jeremiah was brought out of prison. And we have the record of this. And this is what we read on Sundays. This is what we read on Saturdays. This is what we read daily. But in this small country of Barbados, you mean another human being like that king threatens our life, threatens our future, and we grovel, we hide. I mean, how do we face our fellow Christians? And I'm frank, this is not about, for me, about Barbados alone. This is about us as Christians. And Mr. Bob, I know you're a Christian. Okay, Marcia, I know you're a Christian. I worked in government for close to 40 years. And I was never afraid of any prime minister, any minister, any individual, because the truth always wins out. So I think Barbados need to wake up and recognize that they're accountable to God for telling the truth. And they're going to face him someday. You know what I'm saying? So let's get past the government, get past the prime minister and recognize we have a responsibility. The whole world is watching Barbados. The whole world watches Barbados. And there was a time that we were the Caribbean country that people looked up to for moral values, for certain things. Now, I don't think that's the same. And therefore, I wasn't reluctant to call tonight, but because I am out of the island, I say no, so let me just listen. But and Marcia, we spoke,
Yeah.
But I said no, tonight I have to speak.
Thank you.
Know what I'm saying? Because this is my country. This is my country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I will always love and promote honesty, transparency, and therefore, if we cannot speak for Ronnie today, if we can't speak for Stephen Strickland today, who will speak for us tomorrow? That's the question. If we don't speak for a person today, who will speak for us tomorrow? And therefore, I know that the future of Barbados is in God's hand, because the Bible says, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. And so tonight, Marcia, I pray blessings over this country. And for those of us who are committed to stand up for the truth, under us are God's everlasting arms. And we will not fear, we will not back down, we will not back away. Okay? Good night, Marcia.
Wow, very well said.
Good night.
I want to go and read those scriptures tonight. It's very encouraging.
It's worth reading.
Yes, you can send the exact locations to me. I will read it before I go to bed. Thank you, sir, because thank you, Mr. Strickland. But people like Mr. Strickland, Mr. Bob, gives me a lot of encouragement, because when I think of this is a St. Luke water here that I have in my hand, and I'm not going all over the place, but listening to him, I keep it on my desk now. And to think that this is what the people in St. Lucie have to endure, and that what they're told to drink. And if, as a Christian, I can't speak out against this, if I'm too afraid to speak out against it, something is wrong with the faith that I'm professing, Mr. Bob. If I can't speak out against this, because it doesn't say John 3:16 in the water, I can't speak out of it. Now, I don't practice that kind of Christianity, and I never will. So if that's what they're looking from me, if speaking about this makes me partisan, well, you can label me all you want. I will never.
I hear them saying that when you raise the how this situation, though, they're moving all over the place, they keep moving the bar. How this situation became political in Ronnie. Clearly it was from the very beginning. How this situation, and they got some people, I saw a comment there by a person who is part of the media saying the same thing. Well, he's one of the people who are well paid, so he has his job to do. He has his job to do. So please be aware of who they are, and do not allow them to influence you into going against what is principle and fair and right. Don't allow them. They're only keeping their pockets heavy. That's all they're doing.
Correct. And just we're gonna read the post there from Eric Lewis, so Dave can start to put it up again. But I just want to read something more on the oh, you got, oh, 1 second. I'm reading my phone here. But I just got a call. I can't tell you all what I just saw on my phone a while ago, folks. I'm not being rude, but I had to look in that phone. Listen, just a little bit more on the fire service. Folks, there is a lot of victimization being alleged that is happening at the fire service in Barbados, where you have senior fire officers who are speaking up about issues. This reminds me, of the nurses at the geriatric hospital. And because they speak up, tonight we're talking about speaking up. And because these nurses speak up, what has happened is that they decided that they're going to punish them. Well, you have senior fire officers who they are skipping over. They're supposed to be promoted. They're not promoting them. They're reaching all the way down the line and pick up the junior fire officers, right? Promotions lacking merit, right? Inconsistent rules. If the promotions are done contrary to the Service Commission's regulation, if they lack merit, they're featuring nepotism or inconsistent rules, right? That is something that can be challenged administratively,
Yes, it can.
Right, Mr. Bob?
Yes, yes.
And the question that needs to be asked is who is chairing, who is sharing these administration? Caller, can you turn down your phone? Thank you so much. Your device. Thank you so much. Give us a minute. Let me just complete this, and then we'll come right to you. Thank you. Who is chairing the selection boards, Mr. Bob? Right? Is there documentation, in terms of the selection criteria? And do they have like score sheets? The interview panels, are they independent? All of these things that we have to ask, and all because senior fire officers are speaking up. This is what they're saying, because senior fire officers are speaking up. They are victimizing the senior fire officers, passing over them and going to the junior officers. We're not done with this. We're going to stay on top of this. We're just introducing it tonight. Go ahead, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Weekes Show.
Blessed good night, Marcia and Mr. Bob.
Good night. Good night.
And to all the loyal oppositions. There are two things I want to just discuss tonight. One is I don't believe that Ronnie Clarke, the announcer, I don't believe that he is the only person who is being victimized. There's some vision somewhere in some company, maybe in government, who is also facing maybe the same thing that Ronnie Clarke is facing. I would like that there is an open forum, even if you can do it, Marcia. Have some kind of open forum where some person or persons can either write you or send a note to you to discuss what they're going through, anonymous or whatever, right? That's one. Now the other thing is, who is the minister responsible for crime?
The minister responsible for crime, isn't that Wilfred Abrams?
All right. Now, with all the crime that is in Barbados, have any person taken responsibility for it?
No, I wouldn't say anybody. What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
How could you be responsible for crime? And there's crime going on in the country and you have not taken the responsibility for it.
I think when they say responsible for crime is that it is their
That's your portfolio.
Yeah, your portfolio, and you're to be able to reduce crime. But crime isn't reducing.
But what I'm saying is you are the minister responsible for crime. This is your portfolio. And crime is happening in the country, and you are not coming out and saying that you are responsible. This is your field. You're responsible for what is happening.
So what are you saying?
This is your field. I'm saying that people who say that they are when they are not should be removed.
Well, how do you remove them? You see, because we say these things, they should be removed. He's a minister that is duly elected. He was elected by the people. How do you remove him?
He was duly elected to be responsible for crime, or that was an office that was given to him.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, caller. He was elected as to represent the people as an MP. So you're calling on who? Who do you want to move him?
I believe he should be removed from that post, from that position, as long as he's not functioning in that capacity. But who's going to remove him?
That's a big question. That's it. So whenever we're talking about removing somebody, whatever, we're talking into the wind, because the Prime Minister is not going to listen to us.
Right. All right. No, this is where the issue really is now. You are putting people responsible for a portfolio of position, and yet still crime is rampant in the country, and you are not doing anything about the person who's supposed to be responsible for this kind of action. If you're going to say that some person is responsible for roads, and yet still you have a lot of potholes, the person is not doing their duty.
Yeah. So you're advocating that this minister be removed. Well, we can say it, but we've seen over the years that that doesn't the Prime Minister, she doesn't listen to us like that. She's not going to listen to us, period. So he will remain there, and we are going to be told that he's doing a good job. They're going to tell us that he's doing a good job, and he will remain there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. While the crime rises. So in other words, the only way we would know that he's doing a good job is when there's a rising crime, when there's another murder.
Well, yes, I guess so, because she's not going to listen. So we're right now to remove him, we're speaking into the wind. I don't see her doing that. She doesn't listen to that kind of request. Okay.
Well, there is an extra wind coming though, an extra wind coming.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody's going to listen.
Yeah. Well, somebody said the X will take care of
it.
The Barbadians are going to go and put the X.
The extra win, yes.
Well, fear. There's no X in fear.
Right.
But it seems as though we're finding a lot of X's in fear. I mean, a lot of X's in fear. Because the people seem to be afraid to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, I hope. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I personally believe though that if you are going to advertise that you are the minister responsible for crime, you should be taking responsibility when crime happens. When there's a rising crime.
When there's a rise.
Because you're not doing anything about it. You're not doing anything about it.
And I'm sure he would be coming out taking a bow if crime reduces. Well, good. Lots of things to talk about, and so it's about that X on election day. That X. And I'm not those. Whenever I speak like that, there are people who will say they don't watch the show anymore because I'm telling people to put an X. I don't tell them to put an X wherever they need to put an X. They put an X straight up. And I keep telling them, caller, this show, I'm not here to babysit anybody. And we're not here trying to say, well, straight up, vote them out, straight.
I am saying to the people to do the right thing. Stop being fearful and do the right thing. And you're going to see right things happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Adrian Hines agreeing with you. Vote all these people out and the problem of an ineffective minister of this, that, and the other gone. You, the Barbadian people, have the power. Vote them out. That's all. That's the only power you have. Is to vote. You could pray. You could do all of that, but you got to vote. It's the only way. Straight. Caller, thank you for calling.
You're most welcome.
Yes, thank you. Always a pleasure.
Marcia, he raised a question.
That's good. I'm hearing you now. I think you were trying to say something earlier. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, okay. I think he raised a very important part about these ministers. And I was having a conversation with another citizen. I was going to write about it. And he said, vote for representatives to represent us in the House Assembly and our concerns. But then our concerns no longer matter to them after they are elected. They are only concerned about party concerns and representing the party. It is even more so because they sit down, they're supposed to represent us, and then they come up with laws and legislation without consulting us who asked them to represent us, and vote in Parliament for these laws without even consulting the people who asked them to represent in the House of Assembly. So he is saying, the voter is saying, that cannot be right, because there's a situation where if a person who has been elected as a representative of a constituency decides to cross the floor, we don't go back to the polls, he remains in the House Assembly. So how comes it is more important for that person who can cross the floor without having a new election to replace them, but then the party support becomes more important than representing the people's interests? And that is what that young man who called before was talking about. So we have elected members of Parliament, and they're no longer our representatives. And we need to set that record straight in the next election. You are there to represent our interests, because we all can't go to the House Assembly. So therefore, you come to us and you ask us as voters to give you that opportunity to represent our concerns. And that has to change. So I'm saying to the persons out there, your representative is going to Parliament, and they're not representing you. Because when he made the point, look, he may be elected on a BLP ticket or a DLP ticket, but when he crosses the floor, he's not crossing, he's crossing as a representative of people. So there's no need to go back to the polls. So his main position in Parliament is to represent the constituency who put him there. So then we're not getting that from them, because then in this present day government, the party line is more important than the representatives, than the people that they have elected them. So if that is the case, and you're elected as a BLP person, once you have or DLP or whatever party, and you're not a representative of the people, then once you decide that you're no longer with that particular group, then there should be a next election. But that's not the case. So they're going to answer to us. And then you sit down, you go to cabinet, and you sit down, and without coming back to us, you make laws, cybercrime, Airbnb, to come up against us. But that is not what we put you there. We did not vote for you as our representative to come up with laws to put us at a disadvantage. So there are a lot of people. That is why people are fed up, because they take the party line and forget about representation.
And you know, Mr. Bob, I will tell you, I was talking to my husband because people come up to me all the time and they said, you know, Marcia, seriously, why don't you consider running, right? Why don't you consider? And, you know, I said to Dave, I think it was yesterday, Dave, I can't remember. We were chatting about this because, you know, our family, we don't have any interest in that. And I said to him, the only way is God himself will have to speak to me about that. But I have zero interest in it, Mr. Bob. That's the truth, you know. And I said to him, what turns me off, right, is that I see exactly what that person is saying. When they get in there, they don't represent the people anymore. They don't represent their party. So the bill could be as wrong as ever and bad for the people. They are going to stick with their party. And I don't care whether it's BD or whatever. I don't want no job from nobody, because if I go in there, Mr. Bob, I have to go in there to represent the people. I could not live with myself to not be able to do that. And if that is the kind of commitment I have to have with a party over the people, I have no interest. I don't want. Why would I run? You understand? I'm not going to run. I don't know. I probably said too much there, but I'm just be honest. You know, you guys might see it a little differently, and that's okay. But I'm just being honest and telling you one of the reasons that turn off for me. I watched the whole thing and I realized this is what goes on. I know you're there. You came. I would have gone to people's homes and begged them to vote for me. For what? Right? We have a caller. Caller. I might have a little challenge here, but let me try. And then I'm going to read what's on the okay, caller, good night. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that you're not calling me via WhatsApp. A WhatsApp call is better, but let's try this way and see if it works.
Okay, let me do a WhatsApp call.
Yes, a WhatsApp call is going to be better. Thanks. While the caller is going to make the WhatsApp call, Mr. Bob, we have here a post by Eric Lewis that I believe that a lot of people must have seen it. Can you give us a little background of who Eric Lewis is while the caller calls, and then I'll ask you to read it. Let's give us a background of this whole scenario here. Oh, he's calling.
Most I know about Eric is that he's an entertainer of mad fame. Specializing most of his clips have been about a lot of comedy, but in the last couple of days he has
yes. To hold the pin right there. The caller is on. Good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Weekes Show.
Good night, Marcia. Good night, Mr. Bob.
Yes, that's way better.
Good night.
I just wanted to put my 3 cents in. When you spoke about somebody crossing the floor, it's tantamount to the person, like for instance, we have our opposition leader and party leader for the Democratic Party, is no other but, of course, Mr. Ford. I realized that he actually still represents his people, but the engine he was using, he didn't like. In other words, the Barbados Party, he wasn't getting anywhere with them and being able to represent his people. And he moved over to the Democratic Labour Party, and he is doing what he was still doing while he was in the DRP. he was actually representing them, but of course he wasn't satisfied with what the DLP was doing. So he moved to the DLP. Now he's getting things done, traction, although they are not in power. So it is the engine, and it goes back to the DLP rather, that is not operating the way that it should. And we recognize this as well. So it is a matter of doing the right thing with the right party. All right? If that's part of the line, fine. But truth be told, he just needs to get things done for his particular representative.
Yes, thank you. Point taken, because I have to say, though, that you can clearly see what Mr. Thorne is doing as a leader of the opposition. And you see what he's doing as party leader. You know what I mean? That, like, when somebody says, you know, when you look at even the tint legislation when it was going to be passed the first time, when she said she wanted money, Mr. Thorne is who came out and said, no, it can't. You can't even. You can't change that law. You have to do things, and you can't do that. Yeah, he stood up and he put his hand out, almost like to block them from us several times. Actually, when you examine what Mr. Thorne is doing, really, he's doing a stellar job. You know.
Yes, he's representing his people. Now, it behooves the rest of Barbados to recognize, is this party that's running now, that's in government, doing what you want to do? And I'm getting the answer all the time, no, it's not. Transparency, you promise, you're not giving me that. All right? You say that you're going to make sure that you're going to get the roads fixed and you're going to put the tax into the gas, and there's still more potholes than you can see road. You know? Come on, there are different things that are supposed to be done, but they're not being done. And clearly, there's a lot of things that's happening with AI now in the whole world, and we're not even conscious of what's going on. Next year's going to be a different story, you know. But I will say no more. Let God be God, and let us do what we got to do. March, yes, I'm all for it. And if it comes time to vote to do the right thing, that's going to be done as well. Because it's not about one person, it's about all of us. It's not B.O.B., it's about Barbados.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Very well said. Thank you for bringing me back to balance, because
you know,
this one is one of those that no, seriously, I can, as an outsider looking in, I can see the demarcation. I can see how he has protected me as a citizen from some of these bills. So I understand. Thank you for calling. Appreciate that.
Thank you as well. Bless you all.
Yeah.
That was the point I was making too.
Actually, while I was saying it, I said, but you know, Mr. Thorne is, I literally see the difference, you know, Mr. Bob. I see how I can see it, right?
Challenges, right.
When he doing party stuff versus when he is blocking the country from Mayor Motley. But Dave, if you could go ahead for me, please. What are we seeing here? I don't think we're supposed to be seeing that. Let us put back, please, the Eric Lewis post, and we're going to close out the program with that this evening. If Dave could, you were setting it up for us, because Dave, you're doing. Is that correct? I'm not sure.
But once you find it, the gentleman was making a point. He called a name about prevention, a minister's name about prevention. But I'm saying that a previous administration, that's the problem, had the crime prevention unit under the DLP.
Okay.
With the emphasis on crime prevention. And then you have this person getting involved in a peace program with the emphasis on ban peace. And that is the problem.
Yeah.
So it cannot be a name. It should be a unit involved. It should be a collective. And it's not about one person.
Agree. Yes, I agree that he's doing a fantastic job, honest to God. And you know, I'm sure some people, you know, nobody's perfect. You know, I come on, look, the man was able to call and bring a little balance to what I was saying tonight. Everybody, sometimes I come off of here and people call me and I realize I said something wrong. You know, nobody's perfect. And, you know, they're looking for perfection from Mr. Thorne, and he's not going to have it. He's a human. I don't know how he has the strength to go in there and deal with them every week, boy, I tell you. but I'm thankful for him. I really am thankful for Mr. Thorne. Go ahead, Mr. Bob. Miss Eric Lewis's post is here. I'll give you the honors of reading it.
So how you just get one of these awards and then half year later you're fired? You ain't thief nothing. You ain't telling nobody to suck up the myrrh. You ain't harass none of the female staff for cunning. You ain't beg none of the male workers for bottle. You was strong. You wasn't strong on rum or drugs and incoherent on the radio. But suddenly there are concerns about your performance and your role in the organization. So I'm guessing no sound or appearance on the ladies show, then no concerns about your performance and your role in the organization. Bring back here and eat this computer raisins.
That is something else. Now, let me just say, this is fair use. We are using, he's put it up there as a public post, and we are just commenting on it. Okay, this is Mr. Lewis is in no way, sanctioning this, because these people get worried that they get the fair association. So let me just put on the disclaimer for him, because some of them are so worried. But let's see. So he's talking. Is somebody who doesn't understand Bajan, tell us, what is he saying here?
So, that you probably just don't understand what is really happening, what is the problem or the real issue with Ronnie Clarke. That's all he's saying. And using all the Bajan vernacular, all of the scenarios that we could think of a Bajan that would cause persons to come after you in your job, or to want to take your job away from you, or to come up with reasons why you were seen as incompetent and fired after 20-something years. That's all he's saying. So he's trying to, so I'm smiling at it because we know our Eric as well. But that is how we speak. It's not what is happening here, what is really happening.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the award that they're talking about. So, and the reason this has come into focus, it's because Starcom, one of the reasons, because they put out 2 reasons why they fire Ronnie, right? Dave, I don't know how we can do it so the people can see the full award. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Thank you. Okay, so now the thing is this, that the Starcom has put out this report. Do I call it a report? Or a reason? A statement. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Mr. Bob. A statement, right? A statement as to why Mr. Clarke was fired. And they alluded to, you can correct me, Mr. Bob, if I'm wrong, that there were some performance issues, right? Work performance. Am I right in saying that?
Yes. More or less, yes.
Yes. If you want to add anything to that and make it clearer.
No, I think that they were expressing, saying there were concerns in the way he did his job. So that is more or less what in a nutshell. And that is the reason why he was let go.
But as people can see here, this is a beautiful award by Mr. Clarke got. And let me see if I can read it on my phone, because I'm not seeing it clearly on that. I'm not seeing it clearly. But
a special appreciation award presented to Ronnie Clarke, and he has to go just move it up piece by piece in recognition of your dedication to excellence and commitment to our success. December 8th, 2024.
It looks like December 8th, 2024. Yeah. So this is what is perplexing Eric Lewis, because if he saw that Starcom has put out something saying that the reason it's because of poor performance, I'm paraphrasing what they said, then why was he given this award? In recognition of your dedication to excellence. Does that sound like poor performance?
No.
Commitment to our success.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they give him this award? And then, months later, there's a problem? I guess this is what Ronnie gonna fill in all of these details for us on Saturday, Mr.
Yes.
Bab.
Of course. There's more in Marcia than the pestle.
So if we were to read some of the comments, can we read some of the comments there of the people? Somebody says ungrateful then. Somebody said make him make sense. Show working where applicable. Somebody said, don't forget to drink some water. Somebody said, I'm lost for words. Wow. I don't know. Yeah.
There's people do so much foolishness.
Wow. Somebody said that they did not say his job performance, but rather the performance of his role in the organization. But isn't that would be his job? His role is his job.
Yes.
His role, Ronnie's role is his job. So it will have to be the performance of his job.
Job, right.
Somebody said dum twiddling thumbs.
A drum beat. Drum roll.
Yeah. Somebody said don't them think that we stupid and fool. I hope Ronnie take them to the cleaners and own the station are the heads. And they have a curse word there. I can't say that. I don't know about anyone else. Dave, can we read any of these online now? I don't know about anyone else, but I'm smelling a shift from Starcom indefinitely. Well, I can tell you that in our car now, we've already made the switch, Mr. Bob. Normally, as soon as we go in the car is on Starcom. Now, the last 2 days or 3 days, we go in the car. No, we made the switch, right?
Yes.
But this person said they're smelling a shift from Starcom. Time ticking, brass tacks or no brass tacks. I smell a big dip in the ratings in the coming weeks and months if fellow agents are thinking like-minded. Not good for business with the holiday around the corner. Wow. Somebody said Exhibit A. Somebody said I'm malicious in from Guyana. Somebody from Guyana watching. No words. Somebody said no words. Somebody said, I was going along just following the story and trying to weigh both sides, but this has decidedly tipped the scales and not in Starcom's favor. This does not add up.
It never did from the beginning. I think they wanted to. They didn't want the initial reasons that we know as it related to the NCF boss, the Calypso. That was the initial, but somehow in the middle ground, someone said you got to stop this. You can't allow this narrative. We can't paint this picture of this person being so thin-skinned and that she's untouchable and that kind of thing. So they end up, how stupid they push themselves. That's my opinion. They made themselves look stupid. From one extreme to the next.
Mm, mm. You know, I'm reading this. I'm reading. Somebody said freedom of speech has become real skullduggery in Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says something stinks at Starcom. Stargazing. The station is gonna lose popularity. Somebody says here, nothing like receipts. A star one day, but performance poor the next. Is it possible to be great one year and bad the next year? Right? So bad that you have to get rid of the person. He said
Yeah.
you may not know the reason, but things don't just suddenly not add up. We all know lies will be told. The devil is a liar.
True.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Somebody said the listening public is still waiting an explanation from Starcom Network about why the announcers NCF Calypso was banned from its playlist.
Yeah.
The listening public deserves a sensible explanation. And I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh my God.
A question here is asked: is there a new program manager at VOB in Ronnie's place yet?
I don't know. They need to come out and hear Ronnie on Saturday. Saturday, 10 a.m., 10 a.m., 10 a.m. Leaving from Massey, right there, Kensington. Massey at Kensington, right? Kensington Oval. We are leaving from there and joining Ronnie. We are standing with Ronnie and go to Independence Square. All right. That's what's happening. All right, Dave, you can go ahead and play. Can you? No? Okay, not at this time. Yeah. Somebody's saying that he might get back his job. Another one said that they would not want it back. You know?
Atmosphere there is the environment will be too toxic now. That's
Mm,
true. Yeah, too toxic.
mm. You know, I my feeling is that they had somebody lined up for that job.
Well,
You see?
the who, the not whether they replace, but the who may surprise people.
Yes, the who. The who. Oh Lordy. Wow, wow. I don't even know who it is. But I'm sure come and hear Ronnie on Saturday. Saturday. Dave, you're ready to play now or no?
Ronnie, sing. Let the guys so ring. Sing, Ronnie, sing.
Solidarity Walk. Together for freedom. Stand with Ronnie. You cannot silence a Calypsonian and expect the people to remain silent.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Clarke, not in the chair or on the air, especially over there. But freedom of speech, we need to protect it in Barbados. I stand with you, you stand with me. This Saturday, 10 a.m., Massey Car Park to Independence Square. Be there, because I have a lot to say. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So get ready, because we are marching together for freedom.
Wear white. Show your support for freedom of speech, artistic expression, and justice.
And we're wearing white, Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob, you have your white ready?
Of course. Of course.
Listen, you always come and join the march from at Cape Shepherd or so. No, you're coming down to Massey right there at Kensington at 10 o'clock, or you will start. You're join late.
I'll try to get one sometimes because of having some chores to do. I find myself getting late, so I want to catch the as early as possible. But I'll try for 10 o'clock to start the beginning.
Yeah, listen, I know, but I'm teasing you. But listen, Adrian, I have been saying that for weeks now. What you're saying there, I've been saying. I'm watching something, right? I am watching something. Or it could be somebody from Trinidad. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm watching something there. Yes, I'm watching something there. Adrian, I have as well. I have asked that question now for weeks. I've been asking that question. Actually, not weeks. I've been asking that question since August. Oh God. How many of you are coming out? We just have a we have no time, Mr. Bob. Guys, make preparations. Make preparations. Get your white. Let's be uniform. Get your white together. All right. Get yourselves uniform. Get your white. Wear a white shirt. If you can wear full white, I'm gonna try to wear full whites. I'm gonna see if I can. And folks, and walk with something to help. To truly walk with Ronnie, help him with this. The finances as well. It's 2,220 that's remaining. And so those of you who can walk with anything to help, contact me so I can help, to be of a blessing to him. All right. So, Mr. Bob, final
Yes.
words.
I just want to say to the Barbadian people and those who are listening at this point in time, it's time for us to lose our fear. We are the people who have elected or given those persons the responsibility to look after our needs, to represent us, and we need not fear saying to them, to our employees, that we're not satisfied. It is like you owning a business. You are the CEO, you're the owner of the business, you're the general manager, you have staff under you, and you find it difficult on morning to walk into your place to deliver instructions for the day. That is how we are operating with these politicians and this present government that we have elected. We have elected you based on your request, joint canvassing, to represent us. And we are not afraid to say to you we're not satisfied. So I'm saying to our persons to start stepping up, get the courage to speak when things are going wrong. Get the courage, find the courage at some point in time to represent or to say to this government, you're not doing things in the right way. We're not satisfied. To be able to stand up with another person who's having issues and not say that it is not me, so that's not my business. I can hold a neutral line. I'm not going to get involved in that. No, because there will be a time will come when you may need that support as well. So I'm hoping that we see a change as you listen to the program and as you get closer to decision time, that you become more responsible, that you change your fear into bravery, so to be able to step out there at some point in time.
Very well said, Mr. Bob. You've been brilliant as usual, and it's always a pleasure to have you on. I really do appreciate you being on. Thank you so much, Miss McLean. We did not get to make it back on because we wanted to put her early so she'd be out of all of this. But she had some challenges with her microphone. So we're going to try again for another night, okay, with her. Thank you, Miss McLean, if you're listening, for trying, and others who are asking what happened. All right. Over to you, Dave. Thank you.
And good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
The Kaisonka with news from Bridgetown that must make every Kaiso lover's blood boil. They fire the announcer, they fire Ronnie. Why? Cause he sing a Kaiso, critical of a big wig in culture. They forget the power of Gabi. We have one message. Sing Ronnie say. Try to kill his sound, but they can't stop the truth from spreading all around. It's the same thing they do to the mighty Gabi. They bang the bomb in boots, now they vex with Ronnie. Tell them loud. Sing, Ronnie, sing. Let the Kaiso ring. Sing, Ronnie, sing. The truth you must bring. Now the River Road Station, they think they clever. Throw your song in the river, but Kaiso live forever. What? Kaiso live forever. Yes. They ban the song, Jack who block the people's beach. They always try to silence the Kaiso speech. They afraid of the peacock, they afraid of the light, they afraid of the people standing up for their right. But Ronnie joined the band of legends, proud and tall, and the people stand behind him, ready for the call. So we tell them, sing Ronnie, sing. Let the Kaiso ring. Sing Ronnie, sing. The truth you must bring. Now the River Road Station, they think they clever. Throw your song in the river, but Kaiso live forever. But Kaiso live forever. Yes. Sing Ronnie, sing. You can't ban the man's song. They could throw it in the river, but it go flow out to the sea for more people to hear. My Bajan family, it's Ronnie's right to free speech.